When the Fender Tonemaster FR12 first came out, I decided to buy one and check it out. I was very happy at the time, and I gigged it a couple of times, and I thought, yeah, that is a bit of a no-brainer. Since then, I've had a couple of gigs that were a little bit less positive, so I kind of wanted to do a follow-up and see if I'm doing something different, or maybe my opinion has just changed.
This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
So yeah, as I say, I was really happy with this. I thought this was kind of a no-brainer, as it's basically the FRFR, which is closest to being like a real guitar cab with, you know, FRFR type speakers in it. Fender make decent amplifiers, decent cabinetry, and so compared to the power cab, for instance, I felt like it did the thing quicker with less tweaking. However, I've had a couple of gigs. One was in a strange shaped room. It was kind of like a bit of an L shape, quite narrowish, but really tall ceilings. And the keyboard kind of sounded out of tune. So we think there was probably a standing wave or some kind of weird thing happening there. So it's perhaps unfair to you know, base it on just one gig. Last Saturday I was gigging and I had some in-ears in, and just this was the only live cab on stage along with the drums. So it felt a little bit strange in that scenario as well. I want to kind of just revisit this and see. I've got an FM3 down here with a preset that I've not really tweaked at all. This is kind of like a factory preset. I've just changed the delay and reverb a little bit. We'll see what that's like. Plug in the FM9 as well, and then see if I can come up with any thoughts. You're going to hear the camera audio on the gig, so it wasn't particularly loud. Okay, so that's translating pretty well right now. So I want to now just try what I was doing. I'm going to plug in my FM9 with the exact preset that I had, just see if there was anything weird going on with that preset. So that's the preset that I was on. Which is kind of just a Fender Twin. If I switch to my leads, so I just definitely wanted to double check things. I'm figuring now that maybe what was happening was there was some weirdness in my in-ear mix. It was a dep gig. So normally when you do these kind of gigs, there'll be something on that channel strip already in your ears, like whether that's EQ, whether that's compression from, you know, whatever the normal guy uses, or gigs back when they put those settings on, because it's a digital desk. So I'm fairly happy with that, actually. In the room, that's sounding like I'd expect, sounding like something that I would have dialed in and made choices on, rather than something which was kind of a bit spiky or a bit woofy, or more woofy than I'd expect in my ears. And I was wondering whether, yeah, that's the element I think that has kind of put me off of that. It wasn't the Tonemaster FR itself. So I had Jeff McElwain, who's got some courses on Truefire if you want to check those out. You can use the code JNC40 to get 40% off any of Jeff's courses. But he's got a tour coming up in Europe, and he sent me an email and was asking what my opinions were on this. And I was like, to be honest with you, Jeff, I've recently had a couple of gigs where I wasn't super happy with what this was putting out, but I think I'm relatively confident that this is still my preferred option. So yeah, anyway, Jeff's got some courses up on Truefire if you want to check those out. Been a teacher for decades. 3-point teaching approach consisting of vocabulary, repertoire and practical fingerboard knowledge. 3-point method giving the student a clear path to learning and playing the blues and blues rock. Got 30 courses on Truefire. Now if you wanted access to all of those courses, you could use the all access pass, which I can give you $100 off, JNC 100. But yeah, go check out some of Jeff's stuff. And Jeff, this video was for you, and also to test my curiosity, because I think Jeff is going to be touring with the FM9, and if your preset is dialed in to sound good, I'm pretty confident at this point that the Tonemaster FR12 could do a good job of that. What's going on the EQ on the top here, I've got the cut dialed back to about 9, 9:30, so kind of like 3.5. Everything else is flat, and volume wise this is at about 3.5 as well, so there's plenty of room where I could go louder with it. But yeah, that's kind of my take on the FR12 at the moment. If you've got better options, if you've tried the Tonemaster, do feel free to share your experiences in the comments. If you think it was junk, if you've got other options that you think are way better for the money, Red Sound or Laney or whatever, please do feel free to let other folks know. This is not a sponsored video by Fender, so yeah, just, you know, go nuts. Cheers.